I don't think anyone really believes me when I say this, but I was never jealous of my sister Vanessa. Even when we were kids, and she'd twirl around in brand new dresses while I stood there wearing her hand-me-downs, I didn't hate her. I just wished my mom would look at me the same way she looked at Vanessa. Like I was worth noticing. Like I was worth loving. But she didn't. My mother always adored Vanessa. To her, Vanessa was perfection. Blonde hair, bright blue eyes, a smile that could win pageants. Mom used to say, "Vanessa will be the one to give me beautiful grandchildren." She'd then glance at me and sigh like I was this unfortunate accident she had to live with. I was the quiet one, the artsy one, always sketching, painting, daydreaming. I struggled with my weight. My hair was thick and unruly, my clothes never quite fit right. Mom would laugh. "Oh, Emily, you're so unique." That word stung more than any insult. Still, deep inside there was this tiny stubborn hope that maybe one day she'd see me. That one day she'd be proud. It all shattered a week before Vanessa's wedding. Mom called me into the kitchen one evening, humming cheerfully. "Emily, sit down. Let's do something special with your hair. I want you to look nice for Vanessa's big day." My heart actually skipped. It was silly, I know, but I thought, maybe this was it. Maybe we were finally going to have that mother-daughter bonding moment I'd always dreamed of. She guided me into a chair, gently brushing out my long dark hair. I closed my eyes, a soft smile on my face, breathing in the rare affection. "You're going to look so beautiful, Emily," she whispered. My chest swelled with warmth. And then everything went cold. I heard a buzzing sound. I opened my eyes, just in time to see a clump of my hair fall to the floor. "Mom!" My voice cracked. But she kept going. Her hands were firm, her mouth set in a hard line. "You'll thank me for this someday," she said. "Now no one will pity you over Vanessa." I wanted to scream. I wanted to shove her away. But I sat there frozen, tears streaming down my face as she shaved me bald. When she was done, she dusted off the clippers and smiled, actually smiled, as if she'd done me some grand favor. "There. Now Vanessa's day won't be overshadowed. Be a good sister, Emily." The wedding was a blur of humiliation. Guests stared. Some whispered, some looked at me with pity, probably assuming I was sick. Vanessa, of course, was radiant. She didn't even bother to hide her smirk when our eyes met across the aisle. I spent most of the reception hiding in corners, swallowing my tears. That night, alone in my childhood bedroom, I curled up on the bed and sobbed so hard my throat felt raw. In that moment, something inside me broke. But something else lit up too. A fierce, determined spark. I whispered into the darkness, "You will never let them break you again. Ever." A month later, I packed up my life into 2 suitcases, grabbed my sketchbooks and paints, and left Boston for good. I didn't leave a note. I didn't say goodbye. Starting over was brutal. I found a tiny rundown studio apartment in Portland, Maine. Took a job waiting tables at night so I could build my little online art shop by day. Some nights I went to bed hungry. Some nights I cried myself to sleep. But every morning, I looked in the mirror as my hair started growing back, and reminded myself, "This is yours, Emily. Your life. No one gets to take it from you again." Little by little, my art began to catch on. People loved my designs, floral prints, motivational quotes, quirky patterns. Orders trickled in, then poured. By the second year, I had a small team working for me. My brand was growing faster than I ever imagined. Then fate handed me something I couldn't have scripted if I tried. I was looking to invest some of my profits. A commercial real estate broker showed me a strip mall that was struggling. Great location, lots of potential. I bought it on instinct. It wasn't until weeks later, reviewing the leases, that I saw it. Peterson Family Hardware. My father's store. The same store they once bragged would be Vanessa's inheritance. Now the lease was signed under my company's name. I owned it. I sat there staring at the papers, my heart racing. Then I laughed. Really laughed. Not out of spite, but out of this deep, trembling relief. I didn't need them to love me. I didn't need them to see me. I'd made it. On my own. I didn't rush back to see them. Even after I bought the property, even knowing my parents were technically my tenants, I stayed away. Maybe part of me was still that hurt little girl, terrified they'd find some new way to make me feel small. Or maybe I just wanted to keep savoring my peace. But then, about 3 months later, right before Thanksgiving, I got a call from Vanessa. Her voice was syrupy sweet. Emily. Oh my gosh, it's been forever. How are you? Mom was just saying how we should all get together for the holidays. Like old times. Like old times. Those words twisted in my stomach. But I agreed. Maybe out of curiosity. Maybe because I was finally strong enough to face them without shrinking. Or maybe deep down I wanted them to see what they'd lost. So on Thanksgiving morning, I packed up a bottle of expensive wine and drove back to Boston. I almost didn't recognize my childhood home. The paint was faded, the yard unkempt. It looked smaller somehow. Less threatening. Mom answered the door, all false brightness. Emily. Look at you. Wow, you've really blossomed. I smiled politely. Inside, Vanessa and her husband were fussing with their toddler. Dad sat in his recliner nursing a beer. For the first hour it was all awkward small talk. They asked about my little art thing, assuming it was still a hobby. Vanessa bragged about her country club events. I just listened, nodding, sipping my wine. Then after dinner Dad cleared his throat. So, we might need a favor from you. Business hasn't been great. We're negotiating the new lease. Damn landlord keeps raising the rates. I tilted my head, fighting a smile. Is that so? Mom jumped in, laughter high and nervous. We were hoping you might use your connections. Maybe help talk to them? It's this company called Bright Horizon Holdings. They own the building now. I set down my glass, leaned back, and let it hang there for a heartbeat. Then I said softly, Mom, Dad, Bright Horizon is my company. I'm the landlord. The room went dead silent. Mom's mouth fell open. Dad's eyes bulged. Vanessa actually choked on her wine. You. Mom rasped. But how could you possibly afford? I gave her a gentle smile that probably looked a lot like the one she used to give Vanessa. While you were busy making sure I wouldn't outshine Vanessa, I was out there building something. Something real. Something mine. No one spoke for a long time. The only sound was the hum of the refrigerator. Finally Dad muttered, So what, you gonna kick us out? Take it all from us? And I could see it. The fear. The same people who once laughed at my tears were now terrified of what I could do to them. I thought about it. Really thought about it. But then I shook my head. No. I'm not like you. I'd never tear down my own family just to make myself feel bigger. They all exhaled, relief mixed with shame. And that was enough for me. Now every month Mom has to write my name on a rent check. I sometimes wonder what she thinks about when her pen hovers over those letters. If she remembers standing behind me with clippers, taking away the one thing that made me feel pretty, all to protect Vanessa's spotlight. Or if she realizes now, that spotlight was never worth much. I walk into their store sometimes just to see them stiffen. Dad forces a smile, calls me sweetheart. Vanessa avoids my eyes. It doesn't heal everything. I still carry scars. Sometimes I catch myself in the mirror, half expecting to see that trembling, bald girl again. But most days I run my fingers through my long, thick hair. Hair that grew back stronger just like me, and whisper, Look at us now. We survived. We rose. And we did it without their love. Months passed. Seasons turned. Life moved on for me in ways it never had back when I was living under their roof, quietly waiting for scraps of affection. Now I had real problems, expansion contracts, shipping nightmares, social media trolls. But each morning I woke up in my sunlit loft, drank coffee from one of my own brand's mugs, and felt this deep, warm pride settle in my bones. I had built all of it. Alone. Still, sometimes the past snuck up on me. Like the afternoon I found an old box while reorganizing my art studio. Inside were tiny things that broke my heart all over again. A crumpled ballet recital program where my name was spelled wrong. A childhood drawing of our family with me colored in faint pencil, while Vanessa was all bright yellow and pink. I sat there on the floor, hugging that silly drawing to my chest, letting a few tears slip free. Not because I still craved their love, but because I finally understood. I was never invisible. They just refused to see me. A week before Christmas, something strange happened. I received a handwritten letter. I recognized the loopy cursive immediately. Mom. My hands actually trembled as I slit the envelope open. Inside was a simple note. Emily. Sometimes I lie awake at night remembering the way you looked at me when I cut your hair. I thought I was protecting Vanessa, protecting our family's future. I see now I was just cruel. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know. I'm proud of you. Love, Mom. I didn't know what to feel. Anger? Vindication? Relief? Maybe a bit of all three. But mostly, I just felt sad for the years we lost. For the way she tied her love up in ribbons around Vanessa, never realizing she was strangling me in the process. Christmas morning I drove back to Boston. Not because I wanted some big teary reunion, but because I needed to see it for myself that I could walk into that house, stand tall and not crumble. When Mom opened the door, she actually gasped. I don't know if it was the sight of my new emerald dress, the way my hair fell in loose waves over my shoulders, or simply the fact that I was standing there at all. Emily, she whispered. I didn't hug her, but I stepped inside. We had coffee in the kitchen, just the two of us, awkward and quiet. Finally, she reached across the table and covered my hand with hers. Her palm felt small, almost fragile. I meant every word in that letter, she said, voice cracking. I was wrong. And I am so sorry. I nodded. I didn't say it's okay because it wasn't, but maybe in some far-off way it would be. Eventually, when I left that afternoon, she stood on the porch watching me go. I didn't look back. Not out of spite, but because I no longer needed to. Now, every month when her rent check arrives in the mail, I don't feel victory. I feel something softer, sadder. A quiet knowing that we both lost something precious along the way. But at the same time, there's pride. Because against every odd, every cruel cut, literal and otherwise, I grew. I flourished. Sometimes, late at night, I stand on my balcony overlooking the city lights, wind tangling in my hair, and I whisper to that scared girl I used to be. You were always enough. They just couldn't see it. And finally, that's more than enough for me.